However, very quickly, within the next few hours after the ACP launched, something a bit curious happened. A bunch of chapters of the CPUSA who were listed as defecting to ACP took to Twitter to clarify that no, they were not joining the ACP, and harshly condemned the ACP as chauvinists and reactionaries. The ACP
Alright, so this is the first claim being made about the chapters. We did not claim that every single member of that chapter, or in every case, the people who own the social media accounts of that chapter defected over us. What we did claim is that if you read the letter, within the context of the dispute going on within the CPUSA's National Convention, the voices of independence within those chapters. So those who represented the independent will of the chapter, rather than the forces of Joe Sims' coup, did in fact defect and sign off to this, and we regarded them as the legitimate representatives of their chapter. Why? Because they were the voices who represented their chapter in an independent capacity. We did not say that every single person from that chapter defected. Just like when the letter of Declaration of Independence was signed, not every single person from that state signed that letter. Just the representatives and the voices of independence from that colony signed it. And in that capacity, they represented the voice of independence. So that is what gave them the right to represent the will of the colony, because they were the only force of independence. Everyone else was just acquiescing to the status quo. So that was our logic. It's absurd to expect that every single person moreover, every person who controlled the social media account would have defected. But yes, every single chapter we listed had legitimate representatives from that chapter defect on over us, to us, and that much we can prove.
In fact, has a lot of bad blood with the Communist Party USA. Their declaration letter is spent condemning CPUSA and proclaiming it no longer fit to lead American communism. They expressed grievance at how the party leadership rejected their interpretation of Marxism-Leninism and accused the leadership.
This is not true. I don't know why you would lie about this when anyone can just read the declaration themselves. The specific issue is not about our interpretation of Marxism-Leninism. Everyone's free to have their own subjective interpretation of whatever they want. The grievances were as follows. 1, they rigged their national convention and suspended and liquidated the party according to its own constitution. That's why we did it at this time, rather than another time. 2, they were tailing the Democratic Party at a time when a huge, or at least significant mood within the party wanted them to change course and change their policy and pursue independence. They cracked down on the freedom of criticism against the Democratic Party for years. But leading up to the National Convention, that was when the promise had been made that a spirit of open debate would be allowed to prevail on the question of the party's stance toward the Democratic Party, while Joe Biden was overseeing a genocide in Gaza. And they suppressed criticism, they suppressed democracy, and didn't allow any of those sentiments to be given expression at all. So that was the main context for the reconstitution of the party, at least at that specific time.